So the very first moment was when we would have a family gathering, and I talked to her on the phone and we set up the time, and she loved getting together with family, and we all were here and Mom was not. She drove herself wherever. So I called her and she had forgotten the time. She had gotten the time wrong, or she thought it was, I don't know, something. And that was my very first clue, because it happened a second time. Now, thankfully, I had several, maybe not several, but a few years between that moment, but it just like turned a little light bulb on of, okay, we're going to have to adjust things here. But the big moment was she had asked me, I lived about an hour and a little bit of a drive from where Mom was. And she was living a very independent life, busy life. She was widowed a second time, and she was fine living on her own in the farmhouse that I grew up in, and very active social life in church and volunteering and all sorts of things. But she asked if I could take her to this eye doctor appointment. Was a specialist, and I believe it was because he had changed offices and it was really more in like a suburb of a bigger city, and she just wasn't sure how to get there. So I said, sure, I'll drive you. And so she went through all these tests at the specialist's office, and the doctor finally came in, and he said to my mom, I don't know if you missed appointments or misunderstood instructions or whatever, but at this point, you will never be driving again. It's not safe. Your eyesight is deteriorated to the point where you should not be driving. And kudos to this doctor. Wasn't probably the first appointment he had like that. He left my mom and I together for some privacy, because she could see how hard it hit her. She's quite tearful. She's always loved driving. She loved driving from the day her dad taught her in a Model T how to drive. And so I might cry telling the story because it's so vivid. She paused. She was weeping. And she finally said, well, this is going to be hard. But she said a lot of other people have much harder things than this. And God will take care of me. That was my mom. Her faith was rock solid. It was authentic. It was deep. And so I drove her home, I dropped her off, and then I drove the hour home, and I stopped to do some errands. And before I got out of the car, it hit me, I think because I wasn't thinking about driving, I was just thinking about what just happened. And I thought, here we go. How am I going to help Mom do her busy life? I live an hour away.